heading up the Nevada offense. And this is just a wild, wild atmosphere, Casey, as it usually is down here. If you ain't hyped for this game, I don't know what you're watching. Thousands of fans on hand, dressed in all white, ready to tip off game number 1K, 37 feet under street level.
And how fitting is it that the 1,000th game here, Richard Pitino's the head coach for New Mexico, but they're going against Steve Alford, who coached here in New Mexico for 6 years. I just find that very fitting.
And if you didn't know that, you could just hear the boos as both of him and his assistant coach walked into the building. Tip is away, it's controlled by Nevada. Here's Sanders with it, may have gotten away with the travel. Nevada, of course, one of the slowest paced teams in the Mountain West. Coaches have opposite game plans. Richard Pitino wants them to speed up to his pace. Steve Alford wants to do the exact opposite.
Interesting, in the starting lineup, KJ Himes, number 42 in navy blue, and Steve Alford choosing to go bigger there. I think they're concerned about Nelly Jr. Joseph down low.
Here's Amsil looking for somebody to pass to. There he is. There's Joseph. We just talked about it. And there it goes. Sticks the jumper from the short corner.
I hadn't seen that fall-away baseline jumper in Nelly Jr. Joseph's repertoire offensively. I like it.
Joseph, one of the returners now, as Himes was stuffed at the rim by Amsil. And this time he's fell in the second time. Take a look at the starting lineups here. As, yeah, you see KJ Himes. We didn't know that. We talked to Alford. He may have kept that one close to his vest. We did not know he was going to start. Only his second start of the season. Started pretty much every game last year for Nevada.
Yeah, he takes the spot of Justin McBride, who we will see. Justin McBride, a really talented sophomore. To hear the boos rain down. This atmosphere is as good as you will find anywhere in the country, but certainly in the western region of the United States. Let's go.
There's Steve Alford, 11th among active head coaches in total all-time wins. Himes' second free throw is good. By the way, the foul went on Borovichinen, who picks up his first.
Interesting. Daniel Foster, number 20 in navy blue, gets the defensive assignment against the best player in the Mountain West right here, Donovan Dent. It's going to take a whole village to stop this guy.
Washington in the right corner. Here's Amsil firing away. Sanders just lost out with it. And here's a look at the head coach of New Mexico, Richard Pitino, who, ironically enough, in this game with all this history, there are 3 consecutive coaches for New Mexico in this building. The second one being assistant coach for Nevada, Craig Neal. How appropriate is that those 3 guys are on hand for this historic game?
Nice defense there from Nick Davidson.
It's going to be, looks like Nevada ball.
This contest here without fouling. And see how he kind of pulled the string on his arm there? If he follows through, that's likely a foul. Really well done.
Tough spot to inbound it. He throws a go ball, caught by Foster. Foster, nice job down past to Himes, and he's stuffed backside by Junior Joseph. How many highlight blocks are we going to see in the first 2 minutes? Dent to the basket, it's good. Dent gets the scoring started. Dent, once again, he may very well be not just the best guard in the Mountain West. He might just be the best guard in the West. I'm sure a lot of other programs might have something to say about it, but he leads the conference in points and assists, and he is the only active player to lead a conference in points and assists. As a nasty hack by Donovan Dent that time. Good pump fake by Foster, who hits the deck hard. And good pump fake, but he paid for it. So Fouls on Dent. Got across the face.
A hard foul here. Wow, I think that normally referees take a second look at a monitor when there's a foul that hard to anywhere above the neck.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Obviously nothing, you know, malicious or intentional about it. It was really the pump fake by Foster that caused a lot of that. But yeah, you're right, Casey. Usually when that follow-through occurs above the shoulder. Not that we want to stop play for reviews if we don't have to, but if it's to protect the player's safety, you know, kind of a trade-off there as Foster misses his first free throw.
Richard Pitino is livid on the sideline, and he's upset with Nelly Jr. Joseph, who he thinks should have corralled that basketball.
They get a gift now, but they give up the offensive rebound. They want to show Sanders bigger bodies. That's what Richard Pitino said about guarding Kobe Sanders. Well, this time no one's guarding Kobe Sanders. Pump fake, fly ball, got it. Well, that's not the defense Pitino wanted against Kobe Sanders.
It's so important for Steve Alford's squad that both Kobe Sanders and number 11 Nick Davidson, I would call those the two most talented and important players, specifically offensively. If those two guys score tonight, the chances of Nevada pulling the upset just skyrocket.
Nice mid-range bucket from True Washington. And we're going to get an official timeout. Substitution comes in. Looks like Dent may be a little banged up.
I think Donovan Dent might have dislocated one of his fingers.
Oh, no, that's not good. That is not good.
And sometimes you go to the trainer and have him just pop it right back in. It happened to me when I was in college.
So the freshman, Cade Dodson, who's played in all 14 games, is the primary backup to Donovan Dent. He's thrust into this big game early.
Oh, no, they're just rubbing Donovan Dent's shooting elbow, his right elbow. They're working on it right now.
Foster looking, he's harassed. Sanders fires away again, same spot. Borovic and then skies up for the rebound. Dodson, the freshman. Here's the lefty, True Washington, in ISO land. And nearly throws it away. Ball hits the referee and goes out of bounds. So that'll take us to our first media timeout, as New Mexico leads this one 6-4 early. Welcome back to the pit in Albuquerque, and here's a look through time back at when the pit was first constructed, or I should say literally dug out of a hole. They actually built the roof first, Casey, back in 1966. Put the roof up first and then dug 37 feet underneath the ground. Look at that, look at that.
That's the first game ever, the program of the first game ever.
And there's a look back at some of the most iconic games, including that 1988 game where they took down #1 Arizona, the team that Steve Kerr and Sean Elliott were on, and that's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. So lots of history in this building, and so much history I don't even think we're going to be able to get over most of it.
Well, here's some of it. 1,000 games, pretty awesome. First game in 1966, and of course New Mexico's record here is just awesome, man. It's so hard to come here and win one of the best venues in all the West. I would put up there with, you know, Pauley Pavilion, Viejas Arena, the Kennel up in Spokane. Probably missing a couple more, but this is truly a special place. I would say the most famous, definitely the most famous basketball game, just period, has to be the 1983 National Championship game that was won by NC State. Jimmy V.
Back before I was born. So here's Nevada with it after the Dotson turnover. Dotson was looking for a foul, he didn't get trapped. Here's Davidson, Nevada's ace. Davidson scoreless thus far. Here is Coleman, flips it for Davidson. Davidson before the shot clock, they've got to go. Here's a three from the corner. That's their sharpshooter, Ducell, but he's off on the three. And that's a silly foul by Ducell, and Alford throws up his hands like, come on, Xavier. Come on, what are you doing now? As Dent comes back to the game, gets out for New Mexico. But yeah, not a smart foul on Ducell.
Yeah, watch out for Dent here. The follow through right there. That's the right elbow. He's been shaking it. He got some treatment on it. We saw it from the trainer. We'll see how he looks when he dribbles and shoots a basketball. Looks pretty good now.
Borovic, good pump fake. Euro, tried to be too fancy. Dent's got to catch up with it and save the possession.
Don't need a no-look pass when a guy doesn't have any defenders by him.
A little too much there from Dent. Here's Foster with it. Davidson attacking. Likes to work from the post. They don't send a double. He goes over it, and just can't quite get that one to go. Davidson has been seeing a lot of doubles, Casey, in this new role for him. As Nevada really takes it away. But, Davidson with the loss of Keenan Blackshear and Jared Lucas, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot during the game. He's kind of the #1 guy here. He can't simply let the game come to him anymore and sort of let Lucas and Blackshear do everything and just kind of get in where he fits it. No, he's kind of the #1 player on the offensive game plan of every other team now, and he's had some good games adjusting to it, but it's been an adjustment. Casey.
No doubt. I mean, the best offensive teams in America play from the inside out. If you don't have a post presence, a reliable one, it's going to be tough, and he now has that burden on his shoulders.
Still a nice take to the basket, and he's fouled.
Well, one of the more interesting things about Mustafa Amsil is, so last year he only averaged less than 7 points a game, right? He was a smaller role player. This year he's more than doubled that point production. And like last year, Derek, he was known as just a catch and shoot three-point guy, but he has added an extra layer to his game. Now he can, pull up mid-range. He's got the floater. He's getting to the basket more, and he's also doubled his attempts at the foul line. It's been really fun to watch him take on a new role as well.
Makes both free throws as that foul went on Justin McBride, the transfer from Oklahoma State.
Well, this is what we were talking about at the open of our game. This is an oil and water matchup, two teams that play at completely different speeds. You're looking at New Mexico, they're second in the country in average possessions per game, and Nevada is bottom 10 in the entire nation. And so when I talked to Steve Alford before the game, he's like, we need to slow this game down. How do we do that? We got to keep our turnovers low, and we're going to mix up our defense. Yeah, they play mostly man-to-man, but don't be surprised if we throw in a few zone possessions just to slow down the Lobos.
Well, Alford's got to like at least a defensive start for Nevada, but they've also had some issues scoring the basketball, especially as of late. Last 3 games, their losses as they turn the basketball over here. As here's Appelhorns in transition. They've only scored 64 points or less. Amsil lock and blocked from behind, but another foul. And as that's on McBride, that's his second. Quickly. And I believe it is. Oh, wow. They'll actually give it to Ducell. So McBride, fortunate his teammate takes that foul away. That would have been his second.
So Richard Pitino was upset at his starting big man early in a possession. He yanks him out. They have a stern conversation, mostly one-sided. Yes, that's how it goes. But Nelly Jr. Joseph is back in the game. And Derek, you can feel his physical presence without Junior Joseph in the lineup on the floor. It's a tangible difference. They need him.
By the way, something to note. Wasn't necessarily all good that Ducell picked up that foul, because that's his second. Remember that bad foul a couple of possessions ago, 40 feet away from the rim. And that Alford was shaking his head at as Coleman fires away from the corner. That's long. And looked like Brandon Love stepped on the line as he was wrestling with the ball. But, yep, that's the goal.
A fantastic start for the Lobos defensively. They're swarming everything. And one of the things to keep an eye on in this game is the three-point line. Nevada shoots 41% from 3. That's top 5 in the country. But here's the thing. They only shoot 20 attempts. That's really low. It's the lowest in the Mountain West.
Oh, Joseph tried to yam on somebody. But was a bit too far away from the rim.
Well, he got pushed. If he didn't get pushed, he probably would have yammed it.
Brandon Love picks up the foul. Here is Nelly Jr. Joseph, who story's been told a lot, especially during New Mexico games, but he came over from Iona 3 years ago, played under Richard Pitino's father, Rick Pitino, at Iona. And ironically, it was a game against New Mexico where Richard Pitino was watching him play against Iona, and that's, I guess he had a conversation with his pops that I could use this guy, Dad. And the game for the first time is Jovan Milicevic getting some early time for New Mexico. Shot clock's getting low. Out the launch from the court.
Oh, Donovan Dent and his no-look passes. I mean, sometimes he turns it over, but man, I'm here for it. That guy drops it on a dime everywhere.
And Love, a lot of contact there, no call. Throws it away.
And Nevada has started this game offensively 1 for 10. But like the good news for Steve Alford, you look up at the board and this game, it's only a 2-possession game. If you think about it, right? You're kind of lucky that you're not down 15-4.
Story early on for Nevada. Players getting in foul trouble. Brandon Love picks up foul number 2. Here's a freshman, Milicevic with it. His host, Joseph. Tip pass. And it's stolen away. We're going to get a run out here. Here's Chuck Bailey to the basket. Slams it down.
So obviously Nevada doesn't want to get into a track meet, but they're going to be opportunistic. If they can create some turnovers, they're going to at least probe. That was a 1-on-0, right? But they're going to push it if they can. It's just not their first priority.
Here's Junior Joseph.
Wow.
Finishes plus the contact. That up 12-6. Or excuse me, New Mexico up 12-6. Nevada's got to like this pace. Just got to score, and that's going to be, looks like an armbar foul on C.J. Nolan.
Big man rumbling to the basket, using that offhand to create space. What a start for New Mexico.
Back here with you in the pit where it's a 12-6 ball game in favor of New Mexico. There's a look at head coach Steve Alford. Again, one of the best coaches in terms of all-time winning in the country, and he's one of 4 coaches, or one of 2 coaches, excuse me, to win 100 games with 4 different programs.
Yeah, the other being Lefty Drizel. Steve Alford did some great work here in his 7 seasons at New Mexico, and he certainly got a mixed review from the crowd today. Some cheered, a lot booed, but I think he was awesome when he was on the sidelines here. And if UCLA didn't come calling, who knows? Steve Alford still might be the coach here in Albuquerque.
Excellent shot there by Kobe Sanders, and yeah, quite a different reception Steve Alford received than all the commotion that he had in shoot around with pretty much everybody that he used to know here cheering him on. Of course, in different colors, but he still had, you know, positivity in the shoot around. Not so much anymore.
Well, he's got about 20 of his former players from New Mexico as Nelly Jr. Joseph gets the and one. Another beautiful pass from Donovan Dent, who just sees one step ahead of the defense, right? The cliche of, you know, everybody's playing chess, he's playing checkers. You get a double team, puts enough air on that basketball where Junior Joseph can gather himself. That guy's built like a truck, man. It takes 2 people to keep him out of the lane.
Free throw good. And really what he sees is when he sees Justin McBride, he just feels like he can't guard him. As here comes KJ Himes back over to the sideline. By the way, Nelly Junior Joseph was working on his free throws. He shot 100 free throws as Davidson draws a foul, a tough foul from Nolan, which is his second. But yeah, Nelly Junior Joseph, who shoots 66% from the line. was out here long after shoot-around and shot 100 free throws, made about 80% of them. It's something he knows he has to work on, and he's definitely working on it. Hines with it, looking for a handoff. Here's Chuck Bailey. Foster for Sanders. Sanders back to work. Nice cut by Foster. Yep. Spin move. And good layup there. Good footwork there.
Daniel Foster is not a scorer. He's not a three-point shooter. He knows what he is. And so on that possession, instead of just spotting up where he's not a threat, cut to the rim.
Mexico trying to pick up the pace, but Washington missing the layup. Trying to get Davidson, they can't.
Why did Nick Davidson pass that ball out of the post? He had one-on-one. He wasn't double-teamed. I'm confused by that. Nick Davidson, that's your possession. They can run a bunch of sets. Nevada can run a bunch of screens, dribble handoffs, action to get you the ball on the block. He had it, and he threw it back out.
Casey, we should mention, it's obvious you don't win without your star player producing. But, when Davidson scores 18 plus, what's that record you have over? I know you have.
They're undefeated. In their wins, right. He averages over 18 points a game, and he shoots 67% from the field. In their losses, just 11 points a game. So get number 11 shots.
Saw K.J. Hines late. Oh, K.J. Hines, what a grown man's move over the top of the Lobos.
K.J. Hines, his first two catches down low, he was timid, and he got his shot blocked. That time, dunked the ball through the rim.
Referees starting to call a lot of... Oh, here's Joseph to the basket again, and barely missed and one. But referees now starting to call a lot of ticky-tack fouls on the perimeter.
Well, if you're 6'10", 235 pounds, don't lay the ball in the basket. You catch it right here, beachfront real estate, dunk that ball. That's how K.J. Hines needs to play the rest of this ball game. But Nelly Jr. Joseph's right out there, living at the foul line. He and Donovan Dent have this, unspoken language in pick and roll. When he slips out, and when I say slip, it's like a fake ball screen. He's going to pretend that he's going to come, and he's going to slip out the back door early. Donovan Dent has just been hitting him right on the chest with those passes.
Joseph, just averages about 12.5 points per game. And, you don't watch New Mexico play and say, they want to throw it down to Junior Joseph every time he's down there. But, right now, he is just overflowing with confidence. He did have his career high in this season opener at 28. But look, if Nevada's not going to adjust, I say keep giving it to Nelly and let him cook. It just feels like no one can guard him right now.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have an array of moves, but when you got shoulders like that, you don't need a lot of moves.
Here's Trey Coleman, whipped from behind by Apple Hawks. Here's the run out, Dent to the basket. Credit Braden Applehans with the defense from the backside. A heads-up play. New Mexico really trying to get their track shoes on. Davidson, nice pass. Hines once again, ripping the rim off the backboard.
That is how you respond on the road. You see all these fans now just sitting back down. And you can't get caught up in the emotions of this atmosphere, the 1,000th game at the pit.
Well, Casey, I'd say Donovan Dent's elbow looks just fine, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't really been that aggressive looking for his own shot. He's been a playmaker, a passer first. Oh, that's an offensive foul, yeah. They're going to immediately go to the review for this.
Davidson goes over and helps him up.
Which I'm still confused, Derek, why they didn't go to the review when Donovan Dent hit Daniel Foster in the head. They didn't review that one, but they're going to review this one. Who knows, man?
So the referees will take a look at this. And there it is, Casey. Let's see.
Yeah, right here. Right there, that push off from Nick Davidson. We'll get to more word after the break.
(20-14). New Mexico leads this one early on, and we got several looks at this last play. It was ruled call was upheld, just sold it a little bit, but definitely got hit in the face, so no further penalties. But a little bit of acting, but was hit.
And that's the first foul on Nick Davidson, who was Nevada's leading scorer in this one, but
has not scratched.
The Nevada started this game just brutal offensively, had no rhythm. 1 for 10 to start. Since then, the Wolfpack have found it. 5 for 5 to gain some footing here. Still trailing, but at least they're in this thing. It felt like New Mexico was just going to open up a huge lead to start.
Nice pass and Armstrong finishes. Here's Coleman. Coleman, by the way, one of the best passers early on in the Mountain West, tied for 3rd in assists per game. Tied with his teammate. Oh, nice. Oh, gets the kind, friendly roll off the rim.
Well, how was that shot created? You get a post touch for Nick Davidson. You wait for the double team, right? You can run ball screen to get 2 defenders to guard 1, or you can just literally throw the ball into a good post player, and the defense has to react.
Backdoor for Amsel, and went up soft that time and got rejected. Sanders is the other teammate that I mentioned that Trey is tied with in assists per game, leading the Mountain West.
And here he is right here, Kobe Sanders. 6'9" point guards are rare, but you are watching one right here.
And this is his favorite shot. Doesn't quite get that one to go. And Davidson tried to save it, couldn't. And the ball goes out of bounds to the Lobos.
And right here, get some post touches for Nick Davidson. Wait for the double team to come. Okay? Basketball, sometimes we make it complicated. Most of the time it's simple. Draw 2 to the ball, make the extra pass, you'll get open shots. They're not always going to go in, but the idea, the goal for every offensive team, right, every possession, is just to get a good look.
I mentioned this already in the open, but it deserves reiterating. 0-3 Nevada is in the Mountain West. You gotta feel like Alford is somewhat pleased, at least with the start. Nevada holding around, hanging around. Yep, go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, Derek, we're only in the first week in January, so I'm not going to say it's going to be a must-win here for Nevada, but, I mean, if they want to save their season, it kind of feels like that.
Aliatiki with the miss inside, and Casey, did he double dribble on that one?
Well, if the referees didn't call it, then no, he didn't. As we take a look at the current Mountain West standings, Boise State, who was picked in the preseason to win the conference, they are 3-0. They got a big game against San Diego State tomorrow. But New Mexico was supposed to be here. But Nevada, folks, they were picked to finish in the top 3, and so far just a really tough start. We got a lot of basketball left to be played, but they better start stacking wins and doing it now.
They can start by getting some buckets. They're trying to do right now. Coleman pump fakes. Good ball movement. Davidson fires away. Front rim no good.
And Nick Davidson's last 3 games, he's 4 for 14 from 3.
Look out, here comes Dent. The floater just a bit back long. Oh, nice move in the backcourt by Sanders. Sanders into the rim and scores. And a foul. Kobe Sanders. If you don't stop the ball, bad things happen, Casey.
Well, I was in Eugene, Oregon last night, Derek. I was talking to a couple NBA general managers, and they asked me, hey, have you seen Kobe Sanders for Nevada? He's very intriguing. He's got all the physical tools. And when you see plays like that, you understand, like this guy in the open floor, forget about it. He's so long.
Kobe Sanders spent his last 4 years at Cal Poly. I know him very well. playing in the Big West against my home Santa Barbara Gauchos team. And last year for Cal Poly, he kind of exploded out of nowhere. And he doubled his points per game. He was really the only bright spot for a Cal Poly team that did not win a single game. They went 0-20 in the Big West. So you could argue that, and this is something that Steve Alford was talking about, as Amsil lines up the triple. It's no good. But Alford really still doesn't know the ceiling for Kobe Sanders because he never really played in a lot of big games, was kind of just scoring. I wouldn't call them garbage buckets, but they were, you know, he was playing from behind a lot. There's his numbers. And so Sanders, you know, I'd argue that this may be his biggest game thus far for the Nevada Wolfpack.
Well, certainly a true road game. Yeah. I would agree there.
Nice zip pass by Dent, and Borovichinen crashing the offensive glass, and he's going to get rewarded with a foul.
These numbers are worthy of a second look, folks. This is not normal to go from 4 to 6 to 8 points a game, and then all of a sudden
more than double. I cut him short.
Yeah, more than double to go to 20 points per game. And folks, I know, Derek, you said that they were 0-20 in Big West. Obviously, that's not great, but it wasn't like he was just jacking up shots and shooting 37% overall from the field. He was efficient, and he also led his team in assists. And that's what, like, I mean, he's a fringe NBA prospect right now. I think he will get plenty of looks. But right now, I would say, though, he is, like you mentioned, he hasn't played in a lot of big games. He hasn't learned how to win.
Dussel, by the way, has just had a tough time staying on the floor. Picked up his third foul. And looked like they moved early. And so it looks like Sanders will get another free throw. The crowd doesn't like it, of course. But does the crowd ever like anything that goes against the Lobos?
One note on Xavier Dussel. He is, to me, their most dangerous three-point shooter. With him on the bench, he's made 31 threes. It's just less spacing for Nevada right now. They don't have a ton of shooters. They can't afford to have one sitting on the pine, or the plastic, I should say.
Well, the pit's been around a while. Maybe when it was first built, it had pine. Oh, a little bit of shuffling of the feet there. Crowd saw it. Referee said no. Sanders, oh, that looked like a foul, no call. But it's going to result in a run out for New Mexico. And here goes Amsil for a dunk. And he doesn't get a technical foul, probably should have. But since he wanted to hang on the rim, he nearly injured his teammate sitting under him. Wow. I mean, look, I don't like the technical foul for hanging on the rim, but that one was pretty egregious right there.
Nevada's done a really nice job of, again, the crowd getting into this game. Nevada's not let it rattle them.
Sanders going to the basket again, drawing another foul.
Also with the poke from behind, Donovan Dent.
And here's what I had my eye on, right there, right there. There's a little extra pull-up on the rim. A little extra.
A referee's let that go all
It's
the
a
time.
sixth grade recess at the Jungle Gym. But, yeah, that nearly injured his teammate. That could have been really bad. Second foul on Borovichinen as Sanders goes to the free throw line once again. And on that last play, Casey, you have been calling for Nick Davidson to assert himself offensively. He simply cannot allow Mustafa Amstil to push him around when he catches the ball or tries to catch the ball and get post position. He's got to be physical with Amstil, who is much smaller in weight than Davidson. He's really got to be an attacker right now.
He knows that. And so does the young man at the foul line right now. We talked about it already. The two of them, Kobe Sanders and Nick Davidson, have the heaviest burden offensively. Nevada cannot complete a victory today without both of those guys having a solid offensive game.
Here's Dent now. Dent seeing a double. Fires it in the corner. Borovichinen. Good ball movement in Mexico. Dent, oh, that time, but good pass. Or good Good catch there by Borovichinen. Was not quite on the same page as Dent. Passes behind him. Made an excellent catch, by the way.
Absolutely. I think Donovan Dent thought that Borovichinen was going to stick on the perimeter right as he was cutting. And Borovichinen caught that pass with one hand and saved the turnover and gets 2 free throws out of it.
Himes picks up the foul. That's his first.
Borovichinen, by the way, Derek,
this
is just his 9th free throw attempt of the season. He's 4 for 9. Does not attack the rim very often.
Borovichinen, recently inserted starter for Richard Pitino. By the way, I want to mention both teams in the bonus. That in the double bonus. And Lobos, 8 fouls. And he goes to the bench with a good ovation from the New Mexico crowd, recognizing his efforts. There's Sanders with it, leading the way for Nevada, trying to keep Nevada in arm's length while the rest of his team gets going around. Sanders in isolation lane, goes into his bag, a fadeaway, good!
And that's what you saw 100 times last year at Cal Poly. He wants to get 2 feet in the lane. He's really good in the mid-range with the fadeaway.
Thompson, he's raped and stole from behind. That's the all-team defender, Trey Coleman. Back-to-back years on the all-defensive team.
Back-to-back. Don't sell him short there, man. One of the better defenders in the West.
Sanders again, and Himes, a nice catch. Davidson's got a good look in the corner, and he knocks it down. Richard Pitino, quizzical look on his face as to why they left Davidson wide open. But here is the cook in the kitchen. Ever since a young boy, he's been getting buckets. Pull it back, Kobe. Well, there's just so much history in this building, and take a look at the Sports Illustrated top 20 venues in the country, and look at the elite company that a place in Albuquerque, New Mexico is among.
That's awesome.
Look at some of the names on that list. I mean, you got golf courses, you got football stadiums.
The Rose Bowl, man.
Yeah, look at that.
I grew up in LA. The Rose Bowl is one of the most iconic venues there is in the entire world. Awesome. This place, look at this camera angle, folks. This place was built for basketball. Underground, it's a bowl. Over 5,000 feet elevation. So a lot of the teams come here and they're huffing and puffing, man. Their throat is burning. I had the awesome honor of playing here one time during my Stanford career. First week of the season in 2001. We escaped with a win. Fran Fraschilla was the head coach for the Lobos back then.
Casey, take a look at this. Is this a 1-3-1 I see going on here?
Yeah, this is what they've played this about 10 possessions all year.
And Washington.
That almost was touched by Nelly Jr. Joseph. But Steve Alford told us about this, saying we're going to mix it up a little bit. It's part of our plan. We're not super good in zone, but we need to kind of throw a changeup out there.
Here's Davidson, lines up the triple and knocks down his second. And they've got their first lead of the game.
Well, Nevada started this game 1 for 10, folks, and they are 11 of their last 13. Really impressive in this environment.
Can't turn the ball over. Here's Foster. Joseph lines him up for the block. Doesn't get it. Oh, Sanders going to take it himself. Off its own nasty rejection from the backside. No foul there. Finally a call. Washington's begging for a travel he's not going to get. Who in the world came flying from the backside to reject that? Look at that.
That was Donovan Dent's second point guard. Yeah, not giving up on the play, right? Sometimes you're going to get blown by. Sometimes as a defender, you're going to get blown by. Do not give up on the play. Continue. You expect help, but then he helped himself with that backside block.
Not a shooting foul, by the way. Lobos have 9 fouls. Next one, there will be in the double bonus. With it. And that's That's probably about the only thing he's done wrong today. Himes has just been excellent on both ends of the floor. 5 points, 3 boards, and playing great defense. There he goes again. Good defense against a driving Dent. It's almost like he heard me. Davidson thought about it. Goes to the basket. No call there.
Oh, they're letting him play.
Dent pass to Nolan, and he's blocked. And I can immediately know what Nevada's thinking on the other side. That's the same call that they probably just did.
Absolutely. I'm 100% in agreement with you and Steve Alford. If you're not going to call the previous possession, then you cannot call that on Nevada.
He's over there talking to the ref about that exact thing. So here is C.J. Noland. He's played 13 out of 14 games. Began the season as a starter. Did miss 1 game with a thumb injury. But Pitino likes C.J. Noland coming off the bench as a 6th man just a little bit more. Joseph on the offensive glass, but it's raked away. Nevada's got numbers if they push it. Joseph quickly gets back on defense. Foster decides not to push it. Joseph finally back on defense. Himes again.
Look, Nelly Jr. Joseph's jogged that entire defensive possession, and he put his teammates at risk there. If you're guarding Nick Davidson, you got to be engaged. I don't know if he's tired, but he jogged that possession, and KJ Himes is going to the foul line because of it.
Washington picked up his second. And yeah, it's one of those where, you know, he jogged back. He was trying to get the offensive rebound, but
you don't get it, Derek. You got to sprint.
You got to sprint back.
It's an all-out sprint.
Have to. 31-31. Himes at the line again. Can't get that to go.
Nevada 3 for 10 from the foul line.
Yep, not good.
It's tied, and they're 3 for 10 from the foul line on the road.
Dent maybe trying to get on the attack. Oh, great block there by Davidson. May have been a goaltend. Dent wants a goaltend. Davidson has a trail 3. Can he hit his 3rd? Yes, he can. Nick Davidson has caught the flamethrower right in his right hand. And Nevada's got its largest lead at 34-31. Doing it from the outside. He's worked on that shot. Here's Washington trying to respond, cruising in. Oh, wants that layup back badly. But he'll go to the line. Another look at that play. No, that was a clean block.
Good block. Give the officials credit there. They got to make that call in real time, folks. And Nick Davidson, that trail in fast break, if you get a probe and suck in the defense, that trail man often gets to step into a practice, Jay. And Nick Davidson, who missed his first 3 shots of this one, has now caught a rhythm.
Washington back at the line where he is a 68% free throw shooter. And I was just about to say, as Alford calls a timeout, I'm not sure if KJ Himes is going to go out of the game, but Alford's got to be, you know, this is where Alford is a game manager here, because Himes picked up his 2nd foul, and you don't want him to pick up his 3rd as well as he's played defensively going into the break. So we've got some NFL action heading your way as the final week of the regular season, with playoffs still on the line. Baker Mayfield from the Bucks lead the way against the New Orleans Saints, fighting for their final playoff spot. And then at 4, the Dolphins, with no Tua Tagovailoa in that game, fight for their playoff lives against the Jets. A huge doubleheader Sunday on Fox. Casey, can you believe the NFL regular season is almost over already?
Yeah.
Seems like it just started.
Derek, I've already moved on. It's basketball season at the Jacobson home and at the Patino home. Patinos don't even know that football's still going on. They didn't even know it started. It's basketball season 24 hours a day, 365 days a year in their family.
Good job by Washington. Well, when you play in an arena where you can bury yourself 37 feet in the ground, you can pretend that a sport like football doesn't exist.
And you get 15,000 strong almost every night, too.
Final couple possessions here, the first half. Davidson, a step back three. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Davidson turning into Steph Curry right in front of our eyes. Four for 6 from downtown. Here's Dent with it. Half a second separating shot clock and game clock. He'll work for the last possession. Dent, Washington, corner, pulls up at the buzzer, and he's fouled. Oh, that's a bad foul. It goes against Chuck Bailey. Oh, Nevada did not want that foul as the clock was coming down. And Alford is beside himself. Bailey picks up his second. Washington, some very, very important free throws here. And you know more than anyone, Casey, basketball is a game of momentum. You felt like Nevada was dominating this half. They had the lead. And then something like that happens where they foul with 2 seconds left on the game clock.
That's a mistake, but you know, there's plenty of possessions left here.
Can Bailey get off the look? It's going to be late. And off the backboard, and no good anyway. There's the star of the show, people. Nick Davidson. Lacing from downtown. Casey, you wanted him to be more physical in the post. Well, Nick Davidson says, well, maybe the post isn't working right now. Yeah. I think I'll try my hand from way out here.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3 on shots close to the rim. This is the starting center, sometimes the starting power forward. But when you have versatility like that, you can score from anywhere. This is shaping up to be an awesome game. Don't go anywhere in the second half, folks.
Yep. Shaping up to be yet another classic in game number 1K. Back with you here in the pit where it's the Wolfpack who have gotten control of things after New Mexico got out to that early start. But Casey, I think I really only have 2 words to describe what we just watched, and I think you know what they are. It's Nick and Davidson.
Well, I mean, I thought that the matchup of the point guard was going to be the most intriguing, but no, it's the battle of the bigs. Nick Davidson quieted this crowd, and he did it from the perimeter. 4 threes. He let the game come to him. He's also awesome on defense. And on the other side of the floor, it was Nelly Jr. Joseph, I thought, for Nevada. And unlike Davidson from the perimeter, Nelly Jr. Joseph can't make threes. He is a rim roller, a back-to-the-basket post-up guy. 8 of his 12 points were in the paint. Where would they be without that?
Shows what we know, right? We thought it was going to be a guard matchup, and it's 2 bigs that have the lead here. Back in a moment.
And New Mexico is coming up.
Well, if you're Steve Alford and your team is 0-3 and looking for a win, no better start that he could have imagined here in this pit. They're up by 3, and Casey, a glaring difference right now. They can keep this up. Wolfpack 6 of 11 from 3. New Mexico 0 for 4.
Yeah, I look at this and I think that most of the stats are close in this game except for 2. You mentioned 1, 3-point shooting, yep. 6-0, okay? But the one that you don't see on the screen is free throws. New Mexico has made 14 free throws here to Nevada's just 3. Nevada's made 3 free throws, yet they're winning on the road. And look at the scoring leaders. Nick Davidson has brought his 3-point shot to Albuquerque, and Nelly Jr. Joseph doing yeoman's work. Look, Donovan Dent is the leading scorer for New Mexico. He only took 6 shots. I have a feeling that Donovan is going to look more for his shot.
Do you want to mention, you know, Nevada 6th in the entire country in 3-point percentage. Obviously, that leads the Mountain West. And It's not like they came out here and just decided we're just going to shoot a bunch from downtown all of a sudden. It's happened kind of organically. As it's just been Nick Davidson finding his shot from downtown as Foster picks up a little foul there.
Yes, Foster, number 20 right here. Two-hand shove in the back. And the referees are standing right there. But to your point about the three-point arc, Derek, of course they're not going to jack up a bunch of threes. That's not how Nevada plays. In fact, they only shoot 23s a game. It's one of the lowest in the entire conference.
Well, heck of a time to knock down their first three-point field goal. That's Borovichinen. Immediately, New Mexico ties the game. Don't foul there if you're Borovichinen. That would be a bad foul. Here's Coleman with it now. Got off of the baseline, dangerous pass. Oh, wow. Oh, what a rejection by Dent, but it looked like Dent maybe called for a foul. And it is on Dent. I was just about ready to get out of my seat until I realized
watch Nick Davidson tip this ball, folks. He tips the ball from 18 feet on the wing right to KJ Himes. That is the basketball IQ needed for that and the awareness. Really impressive.
By the way, Casey, on the second look at that, I'm not so sure Dent didn't get that 90% cleanly, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Now, Himes has done some good things, but the free throw line is not it. KJ Himes now 1 for 6. So maybe not a bad foul by Dent. That one goes in.
All right, is this Donovan Dent time? Number 2 in white in the corner.
He had 6 points, 3 assists in the first half, but that was probably about the quietest 6.3 assists that I've seen. Thompson lines it up. There's an assist. And just bad defense there by Nevada.
Agreed. That's Trey Coleman, number 4, who's one of the best defenders in the conference. He got caught ball watching and forgot who he's guarding. Quick help and recover to Amsel. He's a knockdown shooter.
And by the way, Coleman, yes, fantastic defender. As he goes to the basket now, he's been doing the offensive end of scores, trying to prevent Casey and I from talking about his defensive last. But when they lost to Colorado State, it was his sort of semi-late closeout as the ball's out of bounds going the other way. There it is. And just like in that Colorado State game, the young guard Evans hit that dagger shot. Coleman was a step late on that rotation too. Again, he's back-to-back defensive on the all-defensive team.
Oh yeah, and I'm not one to talk, by the way. I couldn't guard a
me neither, by the way.
Stationary chair, but I usually scored more than I gave up.
Just got to call it like it is.
That's a good shot for Kobe Sanders, though, right there. We've seen it already several times. As Amsel air mails.
Joseph wants a hold.
Yeah, and there was some hand fighting, arm fighting going on, but like Nelly Jr. Joseph was engaging too. It's not like that was just purely one-sided.
Yeah, and on that one, Casey, did it look like Joseph maybe kind of got frustrated with the no call and didn't play through the contact there? He looked like he still could have caught the ball. Here's Himes with it. One-on-one. Don't do this a lot. Nice left-hand hook there. It's barely missed it. Ball's going to go the other way.
Interesting. They don't do this a lot. KJ Himes isn't really a back-to-the-basket low-post player. Look at you see here. Like to me, so he has a hold of the jersey, but Nelly Jr. Josephs is also pushing off. I'm actually fine. That's Vern Harris, one of the better officials in the country on the baseline there. I'm fine with that no call.
Let's see if he makes up for it here. Long went for his own rebound, couldn't get it. Nevada does not have numbers, and they'll slow it down. Sanders. Here's Coleman on the attack. Good defense by True Washington there. Oh, spin-a-rama. Here comes Coleman forcing his way in. And he's going to get a tough basket inside. Not to be denied was Trey Coleman. Here's Dent. Here he goes. Oh, wow. What a clean block from the backside by Himes. Crowd doesn't like it, but I'm sorry. That was clean.
And Donovan Dent needs to adjust. The referees are letting him play, and he's a little bit frustrated right now.
Dent has not yet attempted a free throw, which is strange because he leads the Mountain West in free throw attempts. Davidson, one-on-one, an ISO for Davidson. Davidson, they show two. Sanders got to go. Sanders got to shoot this. Did he get it off in time? No, he did not. Maybe he did. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Not good anyway. Here is Washington, the lefty on the attack. Oh, another near end one he just couldn't get. As we take our first media timeout of the second half.
Well, back and forth we go. Trey Coleman, a perimeter player who loves getting in the lane. And yeah, we got a lot of wrestling and arm fighting going on. The referees are letting them play, and I'm here for it.
Give you a throwback to last year, the last time these two teams met. It was another great Mountain West Conference game where Nevada had a late lead, and then they didn't. Jamal Mashburn Jr. got cooking in the clutch, hit two straight clutch three-pointers. Blackshear had a chance to win it, just a little bit long. Doesn't it seem, Casey, like every time these two teams, maybe this is the Mountain West Conference in general, when teams match up here in the pit, you're going to get a classic?
Well, I wish it were that, but it's just...
even though that one was in Reno. But.
Well, so last year, though, here at the pit, Nevada was not competitive. They got beat by 34 here at the pit. I don't think that's going to happen. But what's interesting is, so New Mexico swept Nevada last year. But before that, Nevada and Steve Alford was dominating this rivalry. Nevada had won 9 straight games until last season. And so Richard Pitino trying to flip the script on this one. You showed, I mean, that was a team last year in New Mexico that had Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn Jr., and JT Toppin, one of the more impressive underclassmen in the Mountain West. All three of those guys are gone now. This is a new team. Mostly new, I should say. Donovan Dent's still here.
New Mexico back within one. Here's Ducell back in the game with 3 fouls. Finds himself wide open. Oh, a rare mid-range shot from Xavier Ducell.
He is a shooter, and he's here to fill the void of Jared Lucas, who they miss as a three-point stretch guy.
Here's Nolan, and a little too much on the baseline. And it's not a place you want to get trapped down there as you're playing against defenders and the 6th defender, the sideline. Here's Washington. Nolan, step back 3 by Nolan. Tossed her out with the rebound. There's a post for Love. Love banging against Joseph. Oh, just overcooked the left-hand layup. Good shot for just Western.
I mean, he did good work, Love did, but then he faded away. That was a strange shot.
Washington can't get the three-pointer to go. Casey, do you love that shot from Washington early in the shot clock? Just pull up 3?
Well, it's kind of how they play.
And then he compounds it by picking up a bad foul 40 feet away from the basket. And that picks up his 3rd. Well, Washington a little frustrated, maybe forcing things just a tad. Patino's going to go over and talk to him.
Drew Washington is a fantastic player, just a sophomore, averaging double figures, and coming off a really nice game, 14 points and 6 assists at Fresno State. He hasn't found his rhythm offensively. That was a frustration factor.
A rare miss from Nick Davidson from 3. Here is Nolan with it. They're trying to run. There's Dent. And layup no good, but following it up with C.J. Nolan.
And as good as Donovan Dent is at finishing in transition, you never assume that your teammate is going to make a layup.
Hand fighting in. You could see that foul coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Donovan Dent in the open floor is devastating, one of the best. He shoots 67% in transition. Well, he missed that one, and C.J. Nolan was there to clean up the mess. C.J. Nolan, 2 years at Oklahoma, last year at North Texas, and now he's one of the vets on this New Mexico Lobo squad.
And Casey, we have a developing story. That's Dent's third foul, and it was not a good one. You could see him getting handsy near the logo again, so that's 2 straight possessions where 2 of Richard Pitino's starters have picked up bad fouls for their third.
And look at that as it swings the other way and Coleman makes them pay. So really got to keep our eyes out on Dent and Washington. When can Pitino afford to put them back in the game?
And folks, I know that Nevada is 0-3, but they are a very good basketball team. They've had a little bit of bad luck.
That is a big time shot by Braden Applehans, who is back with the program. Last year in New Mexico, you know his story. Played the first 16 games. Mysteriously stopped playing. He had a very, very public battle with depression. Decided to come back to the program. And boy, is New Mexico glad to have this guy back.
This is what he does. He doesn't score a lot, but when he does, it's from the three-point line. He almost shoots 50% from 3.
Joseph inside. And New Mexico, with the absence of Donovan Dent and Drew Washington on the sidelines, have made their run and have taken the lead back. How about that? Sanders, can he get back going? Davidson turned down the 3 and he traveled. Uh-oh. This feels like another one of New Mexico's devastating pit runs.
Look at how high that post up is. You cannot front, that's love. You cannot front that high unless you have backside help. What's he gonna do? You let him catch it at that Mountain West logo about 9 or 10 feet from the basket and see what he can do.
Oh, back door pass. Oh, they're gonna keep it.
Nearly connected with Applehans. Joseph is on double-double watch. Just 2 more rebounds and he'll have his 50th career double-double.
Keep your eye on the freshman number 4, Cade Dotson here, as he's got the ball. Step back shot by Dotson. And he's gonna get the, no, he's not, but almost made me look prophetic talking about it, but he's in a big-time role here in these next few minutes as Dent sits on the bench. He's wrestling with Davidson. They don't get it to him. Davidson really wants the ball. Great defense by Dotson, knocking it away. As I just said, big minutes for him with Dent on the bench.
Yeah, this lineup for New Mexico, Derek, I don't know if I've seen.
Are they going to count that? No, they're not. Oh, man.
Not sure I've seen this combination of players for New Mexico all season long. But this team is showing its depth, and this crowd is behind them. This is the 1,000th game here at the pit, and it is turning into a battle.
A classic characteristic of the pit, as you see that sign. Yes, we are very much down under, and there's a look at the tunnel.
Now, walking down, it's easy. It's the walking up part that'll get you.
Yeah. By the way, it's fun to see the guys try to roll the basketball all the way up the tunnel and see who can get it the farthest up. Here's a look at some of the. You've got 3 previous New Mexico coaches. There's Pitino and there's Neal and Alford. Filipovic was on Pitino's right shoulder. He's a former head coach at Air Force. Filipovic, by the way, has been around this New Mexico program for the last 4 years with Pitino. Just as a consultant or an advisor for his first 3 years, but officially got the title. As Joseph rejects that like a bad credit card. Three-pointer in transition. You can feel it. And it's official, guys. The Pitt and New Mexico are officially on a Pitt and New Mexico classic 8-0 run. Himes down low and he draws a foul.
That's who we want.
Guys, I need a look at this. Everybody please look at this nasty rejection. Get it out of here.
And that block basically was like an outlet pass for this break. And Milosavljevic steps right into a three. Yeah. That is how they want to play. That play right there, the defense leading to the transition opportunity. That's how this New Mexico State team wants to play. They are top 5 in the country in tempo, and they want to force you to play that game and keep up for 40 minutes.
Himes makes a free throw, and Jovan Milicevic is one of the rare freshmen, as we're starting to see in college basketball, that getting some good minutes for Richard Pitino. You look across college basketball, it's become a much older game, and it's getting even older with the recent JUCO rules, but there's still some room on some teams for some freshmen. As a bank free throw, beg your pardon, by Himes, but
it's a roller coaster ride when KJ Himes goes to the free throw line. I don't know what's going to happen.
He's made his last 3, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sure he doesn't care how it goes in. Sanders picks up foul number 2. And by the way, Kobe Sanders had that incredible start in the first half. He's going to have to get going again for Nevada. He doesn't have any in this half. A missed free throw by Nolan.
Yeah, Nick Davidson is taking a rest. He's still on the bench. So that means that Kobe Sanders has to really take the reins of the offense. And by the way, this recent New Mexico run has come with Donovan Dent on the bench, watching.
I'm sure Steve Alford is not happy about that. That team couldn't take advantage with 2 of their starters on the bench in foul trouble. Here's Sanders, the 6'9" guard.
Go gets the switch that you want, and you got to make him pay.
There he goes to the basket. Himes working hard on the offensive glass, shaking his fist. Says, "Yeah, I did that. I drew another foul on you guys, and crowd, you can do nothing about it." That goes against Aliatiki, who picks up foul number 3.
Really nice take. I like this drive a lot, even though it doesn't go in. That's a great opportunity for Kobe Sanders. And KJ Himes, he knows they're not going to run any plays for KJ. That's how he gets touches, on the offensive glass and diving to the rim.
Sanders, here's McBride, a 3. Good hustle by Aliatiki to get that one off the glass. Here's Dotson. Here's the screen. Dotson straight away. On for a Tiki.
Oh, he traveled.
Yeah, he
traveled twice. He traveled twice. They had to call the second one, man. He was moonwalking out there.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of time. Just a little over 10 minutes a game. Just got a little overeager there with a post up. Sure, he's not gotten too many ISO plays on the post during this year.
Seeing a full court man-to-man pressure. It's probably just token pressure to take some time off the shot clock.
There's Chuck Bailey, the sophomore transfer from Evansville, getting some good minutes here. Played mostly off the bench for Evansville. Here's McBride. A tough pirouette in the lane, no good, but they track down another offensive rebound. Bailey, another one of those guys Alford brought over to try and help this bench depth. As Foster missed a cutting Davidson. McBride fires a 3. It's long again. Rebound tapped and controlled by Appleholmes.
Nick Davidson's got to get some touches.
Applehahn's a little bit of a wild take, and he throws it away. And that should have been a foul from the backside, no call. Here's McBride charging his way to the basket, and he's going to draw a foul. And Casey, what happens when you get in the air and throw a cross-court pass without looking? What happens?
Usually gets picked off, man. I learned that in basketball camp in 3rd grade. Don't leave the ground to make a pass. And yeah, that rule applies at the Division I level too. A nice drive by McBride, who really hasn't made an impact in this game offensively. If you're struggling, what's the best thing to do? Drive it hard to the rim, go to the foul line.
So here comes Dent back in the game, and boy, tough. Aliatiki doesn't get that many minutes. Well, 6 minutes, 4 fouls. I guess gotta, use them up, I guess.
Well, Donovan Dent's got 3 fouls, but Richard Pitino's going to ride with his superstar for the rest of the game. It's on Dent to be responsible and make sure that he doesn't get anything ticky-tack.
So who do you put him on, Casey, so you can keep him away from getting fouled?
I mean, you can't necessarily hide him. I would probably put him on Daniel Foster, who's not a three-point shooter, but Daniel Foster's really physical. Yep. You can't hide him. You just got to make sure that you trust him, that he's not going to pick up a dumb foul.
Applehawn.
Man, he's not shy. In the last 5 minutes, Applehawn's getting that thing up.
Here's the guy who needs to get some shots up, is Kobe Sanders.
4 for 12 from the field is Kobe right now.
Calling his own number. They give Kobe an ISO. Pushed off the spot by Omseal. McBride gets an ISO. Step back. Oh, nice shot there by McBride. .52 for New Mexico. Now Nevada takes their lead with 53. Omseal. Here's Dent with it now. Eyes up. Dent got a mismatch. Fish out of water. Walks into the rim and scores.
Mismatch there. He gets Nick Davidson on the perimeter.
That's not fair, Casey. That's not fair.
You got to bring help there. But I thought Nelly Jr. Joseph did a really nice job basically sealing the middle of the lane there.
I was about to say, how did Nick Davidson get isolated on Donovan Dent?
It was a switch on the ball screen, just like this right here.
There it is. Sanders has to take advantage. And he draws the foul. It's not going to count. It's Mustafa Omseal who picks it up.
Here's the mismatch here. And watch Junior Joseph. See how he seals that? And that's legal because he can say, hey, ref, I was trying to post up. But what he did is basically clear out a runway for Donovan Dent. So we've talked about this. Nevada's 0-3 in Mountain West Conference play, and their 3 losses are by a combined 10 points. They have been so close, and they are again so close right now. The question is, can they pull it out on the road?
Sanders scratches for the first time in the second half.
And I would argue it's got to start with this young man right here. I mean, for all the awesome numbers that he put up last year at Cal Poly and this year, you have to wonder, like, does he have that killer instinct in him?
Well, that killer is something that Steve Alford has been looking for. How many times in our shoot-around and in press conferences after losses did Steve Alford say, hey, I need a dog. I need someone to step up. He says he thinks his team is a little bit too collectively quiet on the floor. And when you lose a dog in Lucas, another dog in Blackshear, as Dent goes to the rim and scores and one. What's new? That's what Steve Alford is trying to find. Here's a dog over here. Doesn't take much to get this one barking. We'll be right back. Back with you here in the pit as it's another close game. And speaking of close games, Nevada has just had a very tough time winning a game, and the game comes down to the wire in clutch time. That's a look at their close losses. Of course, the last 3 in the Mountain West. And going back to what I was saying earlier before the break, this Casey is really when you miss some guys like Blackshear and Lucas, both 5th-year players, no longer here. And I think that stat right there with all the clutch time loss. I think it goes directly to Steve Alford's point, in which he just needs somebody to step up and be a dog in clutch time. And this guy right here has got all the talent to do so, but as we talked about, didn't have a lot of opportunities at Cal Poly. Is trying to learn how to do that on the fly. And there he goes. There's a good look from Sanders right there.
That's the 4th time that Kobe Sanders has got in the lane, basically in that same spot, just right past the foul line for a pull-up.
And another basket inside. And am I wrong in saying, you know, Nick Davidson, if you're going to front the post, you can't allow him to just throw it straight over your head. I don't know how many times I've seen them do that exact same thing to Nelly Jr. Joseph. It's too easy for that.
And it's also easy for us to say, though, too, right? Nelly Jr. Joseph is so strong.
Sanders, that looked like some contact, and he drew the foul.
Yeah, it's the right call. All right, so are we watching a late game closer starting to blossom here in Kobe Sanders? You gotta love what you're seeing if you're a Nevada Wolfpack fan from him. You can see he's huffing and puffing, man. We're over 5,000 feet elevation. He's probably feeling it right now in his lungs. He's got to put that aside and bury 2. He was named the preseason newcomer of the year by the media in the Mountain West Conference.
Sanders puts it in. And he's had, Casey, he's had shots to win games. Good looks that he's created. A couple games ago, the ball was in his hands and just came up a couple inches short of hitting some clutch baskets. The one thing about Sanders that I like about his game, as he misses the second free throw, you can't really speed him up. He plays at his own pace. He doesn't go too fast, doesn't go too slow. Just sort of calmly works his way into his spots on the floor and gets really whatever look he wants.
And here we're seeing the zone, matchup zone here for Nevada.
Nolan cooks it long off the back iron.
They force to me, that's a shot that Steve Alford would be happy to watch them launch, but one of the hard things to do in zone is to rebound. You got to have all 5 guys crash because you're not always going to make contact on the block out.
Here's Sanders again. He's got to switch now. Yep, it's time to dance, young fella. Here's Sanders, crosses, pump fakes, and oh, not quite. Good defense by Joseph. Borovic corner Nolan. This is a guy that needs no introduction when it comes to clutch time. Bumping foul by, looked like that was Trey Coleman. It is on Coleman. Only foul number 1 for him. Not a shooting foul. Interesting.
This performance from Donovan Dent reminds me a little bit of the UCLA game. Definitely New Mexico's biggest win so far. He has 17 points. He had 9 turnovers. It was an uneven performance, but when they needed him in the last 6 minutes of the game, he came alive.
Good job by McBride there, fronting the post, but not allowing the pass to Joseph. There's Omsil on the post up against Coleman. Coleman's a great defender, and that looked like a tough call on Coleman, not because he didn't foul him, but it looked like Omsil may have used that off arm to kind of chicken wing him a little bit as he was making his move to the basket. But referee's word is bond down here. And Casey, here's an important spot here for Xavier Dussel. No longer in the starting lineup here. Hasn't yet gotten going from the floor. But Sanders just went to the bench. And it's only Davidson who is the scorer on the floor. Dussel has got to be, I think, aggressive looking for a shot, but they're gonna have to free him open. Oh, wow. A blown coverage on New Mexico, and the easiest 2 points you'll see all night for Justin McBride. And Nevada takes the lead again.
Just a miscommunication there. 2 guys trying to stop Xavier Dussel.
Dent to the basket again. He attacks again. What else is new? And
watch here, Dussel trying to run off. He goes the opposite way, and 2 guys go with him. That was Dent. Dent completely got lost.
And Dussel picks up his 4th. And by the way, DeSalle didn't get that shot there, but just by reputation, he cleared out the defense. They paid a little bit too much attention to him, and that's what freed up that dunk. Another missed free throw. What's going on here?
So there's a 2-shot foul. Everybody thought it was a 1-and-1, and it wasn't. That was a shooting foul. We got one more free throw coming. You rarely see that at the college level.
Right.
Everybody except for Donovan Dent and Richard Pitino was like, where's everybody going? Man, some missed opportunities here. Look at the free throws on your screen. New Mexico leaving 4 and missed their last 2 in a row.
Dent makes that one. Dent a 74% free throw shooter. Again, leads the Mountain West in free throw attempts per game. 25th in the country. Coleman picks up his dribble in the bad spot. And oh, that's an unfortunate foul there by Nelly Jr. Joseph. That's his second.
I was wondering when Steve Alford was going to dial up a simple cross screen. That's a screen from one block to the other for your big man to get a post up. And that simple offense gets Nick Davidson a touch and 2 foul shots.
60-60 ball game. Clutch free throw there by Nick Davidson. Free throws now, as we talked about, Casey, are going to become an all-magnified thing to pay attention to.
Yeah, I mean, the end of this game could be a free throw shooting contest.
It may very well be, as Lobos have 9 fouls. They'll be in the double bonus next time as Dent goes to the basket. Nevada's got 8, make it 9. And did that foul go on DeSalle? It did, and he's done.
How many times has Donovan Dent hit the deck tonight? I mean, I'm counting at least 7 times he goes to the rim and just slams his 6'2" frame on the deck, man.
Oh, a tough day for Xavier DeSalle. And so Steve Alford is not even going to be able to use him as a floor spacing decoy.
Yeah, DeSalle only made 1 basket, 2 points tonight. Yep. 2 points, 5 fouls.
As Dent makes free throws, but again, by reputation, just him being on the floor, whenever he's on the floor, he's 4th all time in his various stops in the Mountain West in threes made this season. He is shooting 45% from beyond the arc. We have a timeout on the floor. So this is shaping up to be a classic. Do not touch that dial. Back with you here in the pit, where the New Mexico Lobos have a 62-61 lead. And here's a look at that last foul committed on Donovan Dent. And look at how he goes to the ground. Was in some discomfort with his non-shooting hand.
Yeah, it's his left hand. Watch him kind of shake it off right there. And I think it's important to remind the audience of the time that he bumped his right elbow in the first half and had to get removed from the game. He got some treatment. He, of course, returned, but he's got some bumps and bruises in this game right now. As you take a look at his stats, he's the only player in the country to lead any conference in points and assists. Really impressive. Just a junior. He's done a nice job of walking the line of when to score and when to pass.
McBride, floater, and does not get the friendly roll. Davidson, no go. Could have been called for a foul on the rebound.
It's a great look, though, out of the timeout. I looked at Steve Alford over on the sideline. He was clapping. Those are the looks that you get, and you'll win this game.
A double Dent gets it out of his hands. Cross court, a dangerous pass, and that didn't even have juice on it. That didn't even look like a pass with conviction. If you're going to throw it across the court, Casey, you gotta Clayton Kershaw. Can't just loft it up. Here's Davidson.
Yeah, Derek, I think that pass was tipped. That last possession, I think Trey Coleman gets a fingertip on this one. Yep, he definitely changes the trajectory on that. And it's big time defensive play by the back-to-back all Mountain West defensive player, Trey Coleman.
And that time, as Davidson missed the free throw, it looked like the defensive instincts of Coleman looked like he read the eyes of Washington. Washington may have telegraphed his pass.
Here's what the pit does. You can hear him.
Good job there by Davidson. Ties the game up at 62. One thing to note here, as they show fake pressure.
And they're in zone right now.
Yep, there is a zone. Denton last year has 3 game-winning layups if this game gets late. Go ahead, Casey.
It's just, I was going to mention that Nevada rarely showed zone at all this season, but they prepared for this.
So we'll take one more extended break. Do not go anywhere. Another Pitt Classic right around the corner.
Well, Casey, the point you were making going into that break about the zone that Nevada was throwing at them, their goal obviously is to do anything and everything they possibly can to limit the number of possessions that University of New Mexico gets. And, you know, it's interesting because in a couple of those Mountain West losses where things came down to clutch time, Casey, as I was watching the film, a couple of those teams threw a late zone at Nevada themselves. So, you know, Nevada's saying, hey, if other teams can frustrate us with it, maybe we should just, you know, pull a page out of that book and see if we can throw it at some of the other teams and see if it doesn't slow down them as well.
Yeah, maybe if you would have asked Steve Alford, hey, you get a tie game in the low 60s with under 4 minutes to go. He says, sign me up, let's go.
Clutch free throw there by Onseal.
And one of the reasons why New Mexico normally is able to speed teams up is because of their defense. New Mexico, they average almost 10.5 steals a game, which allows them to get out in transition. Tonight, the Lobos have only 4 steals. That's one of the reasons why we're at where we're at.
Yeah, and it's really tough to give them a report card overall for the New Mexico defense because this is kind of what Nevada's been averaging over the last few games. Alford has wanted better defensive on-ball pressure. Has a 3 in the corner, no good. Rebound controlled by Borovichinen. Well, it's officially clutch time now. Here's the guy with the ball. Oh, no look pass, and I think it was double tipped. So a little bit too much heat on that.
I'm confused on what Denton saw there. And I've seen him drop some dimes all over the place, but that one, it almost looked like he wanted it back.
Well, Casey, he didn't see because he threw a no-look pass. So you're wondering what he saw. Sometimes you gotta make the fundamental plays.
Now, Dent's got the full keys to the car, but even the best players can have some moments. McBride, a wide open 3, and it's good. What a big-time basket for McBride as he stares down the New Mexico crowd.
Only his 8th made 3 on the season.
And then we have a off-ball foul down low, committed by Daniel Foster.
How about this? Davidson finding Justin McBride. He's now 8 for 20, so he obviously can do it. He just shoots about 1 3 a game.
Speaking of a guy who doesn't get to the free throw line a lot, coming into this game, just 3 of 8 from the foul line. He is in a big spot right here. Clutch free throw there. Transfer from Arizona, played for Serbia when he was a younger cat. Last year at Arizona, played a couple years at Arizona. Off the bench, and 2 big-time clutch free throws.
6 of 6 today. Guy that shot 8 all season. McBride, can he do it again? Not this time. Maybe he rushed out one a little bit.
And he had Nick Davidson on a mismatch with Donovan Dent. That was like one where he decided to shoot it before he even hit his hands.
Here's a big time three in the corner. No good. And if you're Steve Alford right now, you cannot go a single possession without either Kobe Sanders or Nick Davidson touching the basketball, or I think it's a bad possession. The ball must be in one of your aces' hands. We're under the 2-minute warning. Sanders in his isolation bag. Step back. Oh, but excellent offensive rebound by Foster. And they'll get another chance. Sanders not waiting for anybody. Time slows down for no man. Is it a jump ball or a foul? It's going to be a foul. Mustafa Amsil picks up his third, and he's signaling for a review. But Casey, you can't do that in college basketball.
No, they're not going to change their mind. I thought it was the right call. The way that Kobe Sanders, watch him dive into the chest here.
Yep, that's a foul.
And that's a foul on the arm, not the body. Not the body. He goes straight up. Okay, that's ball, but that was the ball, Drew. Keep it going. Oh, man, actually. I just
50-50.
I painted myself into a corner right there.
Yeah, you sure did.
I really did.
Looked like there was some contact on the arm.
Here's how I'll rescue this, okay? Here's how I'll save myself. It looked like a foul in real time.
Looked like a foul to the refs, too, so you weren't alone.
And that's why you get a foul. If it looks like a foul, even if it's ball, you get the call.
And I think I just heard the voice of Rasheed Wallace come down from the rafters saying, "Ball don't lie." Did you hear that? I did. Makes the second.
Well, the ball lies all the time with bad foul shooters.
12 ties, 12 lead changes. Dent with the ball, 1:37 to go. Bounding in the lane. Are you kidding me? Donovan Dent! The picante sauce he pulls out of the pantry. Davidson fires away. It's short. Rebound Mustafa Amsil. Nevada is down by 2. Dent, one of the best point guards on the West Coast, comes up with another clutch time basket. And he's got the ball in his hands again. Walking his man down. Amsil fires away. And it's an air ball. And they're going to call a foul on Nick Davidson, pushing out Joseph. Wow, what a big call. Take it away, Casey. This is you.
Credit Nelly Jr. Joseph for fighting. For fighting for that. If he just kind of watches that ball and doesn't go after it. How about this? Watch how he switches to the right hand. Normally guys drive left, they finish left, he switches it in midair. And then here's the air ball. Watch it underneath. Nelly Jr. Joseph is going to go after this basketball, and that effort, there's a little, that's a tough call there. Man, that's tough. But
Nevada took their, Nevada took their second to last time out, by the way. Go ahead, Casey. What do you think?
It's just an example of effort. That's all I was going to say. You know, a lot of times guys will give up on a play. Don't give up. You never know what's going to happen. And even if you don't get your hand on the basketball, you might get a defensive foul call. Big time.
Yeah, Casey, that's just one where I pull a Pontius Pilate and just wash my hands of that. That is all you. You decided that one was a good call or not. I'm just going to let the viewers and Casey decide. And, of course, the referees. So, Casey, you remember when this half started, and you said you had a feeling that Donovan Dent was going to make his presence felt. I would say that you were correct.
Well, and every point guard of his caliber, I call it walking the line. Walking the line of when do I shoot and when do I pass.
Here's Joseph at the line. He scores 7, but make it 5 of 8. Joseph, just a 66% free throw shooter. My math tells me he's just about right at his average. Now he's above it.
And That's your center, folks, going to the line under a minute to go and knocking down 2.
Big possession of the game. Foster, nope, that was clean. McBride crossing his way in. And I would say a bailout foul on C.J. Nolan, as it looked like McBride was going into the lane and didn't really have some conviction with his drive. It was almost turned up. Let's take a look.
Daniel Foster had a wide open layup, by the way. And then Justin McBride.
At least they're calling it both ways.
I don't want to be an official in a game like this, man. I really, really don't want to do that.
McBride 2 of 2 from the line today. Look at that. Justin McBride transferred over from Oklahoma State. Started the last 2 games after the previous 12 off the bench, as Richard Pitino was going to take a timeout. And this is a guy that's thrust into a big time position right here. And McBride last year, get this, he was the Big 12's youngest active player. He did not turn 18 until July of 2023. Played his high school basketball, ended his high school career at Plano High School in Texas, but did play at Oak Hill with Duke guard Caleb Foster.
No, so right now, what Steve Alper's talking to his group about, he's like, all right, McBride's going to make this, and then we're still down a possession. Are we going to foul? No, because there's 14 seconds difference in the shot clock. If they're going to play out this one possession, they have to get a stop.
New Mexico with 2 timeouts. Nevada's just got 1. McBride came into the game just 10 of 19 from the line. And I left that alone so I didn't jinx him. It's 4 of 4 today.
And I'll give you one guess who's going to decide this possession for New Mexico.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Donovan Dent with the basketball. A 2-point game. 30 seconds to go. Let's see if he gets a screen and tries to get a switch. Here's Joseph. There's the switch. Dent behind the back. Comes back on him. Dent pauses, fires. And a shot clock violation. So excellent defense by Trey Coleman after the switch, getting back onto Donovan Dent and forcing a bad miss.
In football, they call that bracket coverage. In basketball, it was a hard hedge. Not necessarily a hard trap. It was almost like they were trying to put Donovan Dent in a box. Not
Here we go,
foul.
Casey.
That was great defensive possession for Nevada.
13.8 seconds left in the game. It all comes down to this. Ball in the hands of Daniel Foster. They're down by 2. Davidson with the basketball. He takes off to the basket. Spins. Layup is up. Oh! No good, but a foul. Who's it on? And Nolan picks up his 4th. So here is Nick Davidson to the free throw line.
I love the simplicity of the play. Get your best player or what you feel like is the best matchup. One ball screen and that's it. Let him create.
And looks like the referees are going to go to the monitor to check the clock to make sure that the time is accurate. It says 0.6 right now, pending the official review. What we do know, Casey, is that Nick Davidson's going to the free throw line, and with Nevada's season, how it's been going, this may be the most clutch free throws.
It's like a fork in the road.
It really is, Casey. This is really, it does not get any bigger than this.
I mean, they're 0-3 right now. This is a Nevada team that everybody expected to finish in the top 3 of this awesome Mountain West Conference. Here's a look here. Where that foul occurs, it's 1.5. Because the clock is going to stop when the foul occurs, not when the ball hits the basket.
Once again, New Mexico's got 2 timeouts, so you would think that, of course, Pitino's going to use one to get something set up.
After review, 1.1 on the game clock.
1.1.
New Mexico's got 2 timeouts. Nevada's got 1. So here is Nick Davidson to the free throw line. As you said, fork in the road. He has missed 2 of his 4 free throw attempts. He's a 73% free throw shooter. And this Lobo crowd is going to do all they can to make sure they get at least 1 miss here. First free throw is good. But it's not over.
Well, if you're Nevada and you're not Nick Davidson, you are crashing the glass here. No foul. Don't foul, but crash the glass.
And he gets the roll. Clutch. Big time ice water in the leader of New Mexico's Wolfpack, Nick Davidson's veins. Knocks down 2 free throws, ties the game. And Casey, 1.1 seconds left to go. What's Pitino cooking up here? And who's the ball going to go to?
You got to go for a long pass. You could go for a long pass, like, and try and put Nelly Jr. Joseph in the middle lane and see if you can get like a touchdown Hail Mary.
Does the ball advance here?
No, not in college basketball. Or you can get Donovan Dent on the move and maybe get a pass from the baseline out to half court. But he's got to catch it and shoot it. And I don't think he's going to get any closer than probably the half court area. But big time free throws for Nick Davidson. And interestingly, you know who called this timeout was Steve Alford.
Yeah.
He's the one that called this timeout. He wanted to get his defense set instead of having his team play in chaos. But it's risky because it allows New Mexico to draw something up here.
And if they can't get it in for whatever reason, they still have 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're down to 1.
Yeah, New Mexico had timeouts.
They got
anyways.
2. They got 2. Doesn't matter. They can use it.
I don't think you have enough time to throw the ball to half court and call a timeout and then run another set. With 1.1, I think this is just a catch and shoot wherever you catch it at.
All right. So here we go. It's going to be Amsil, who can run the baseline, to inbound the ball. Gets it to Dent. Dent fires away from half court for the win. And that's going to be off. Had a look. But Casey, Mountain West after dark, you never know what's going to happen. This game started at 9:10 p.m. Mountain Time, and it looks like it's going to get an extension.
Yeah, it's 11:30 here, but I don't want to be anywhere else. A good look as far as, I mean, a quote good look with 1.1 seconds. That's all you can hope for, basically, there. But hey, this is the 1,000th basketball game played at the pit. Yeah, overtime seems about right for an occasion like this.
I mean, really, Casey, did you expect anything else with all the pomp and circumstances and the fanfare that's been going on all day? Starting, by the way, from the Steve Alford shoot-around. And the 1,000th game living up to its billing.
Donovan Dent, he was kind of quiet in the first half, had a block there, but just 6 points in the first half. He was more a passer in the second half when his team needs him. He's like, I know what I have to do. He's got 10 points alone. That one was beautiful. The way he switches hands in midair like that to keep the shot blockers at bay is beautiful basketball. These guys got to be exhausted out here, man. Donovan Dent's hit the deck about 7 or 8 times. Hurt his elbow, hurt his hand. Still standing. And he had foul trouble in the first half, and he's been able to stay on the floor. Donovan Dent does have, oh, he still has that 3. He's got 3 fouls. That's what he had in the first half.
Just want to make sure the viewing public knows exactly what's going on in the overtime. Each team gets an additional timeout. You don't get full reset of your timeout. So New Mexico will have 3. And Nevada will still remain with 1 in the overtime period. Just a quick brief as well, again, over the foul trouble situation. On the Mexico side, C.J. Nolan's got 4, Dent's got 3, Borovicinen's got 3, Amsil's got 3, Atiki's got 4, Washington has 3. And then on the other side, DeSalle has already fouled out, Foster's got 4, Davidson's got 3, Bailey's got 3. So here we go, bonus basketball down in the pit. And Sanders gets the first possession. Here he goes, went right around him. Oh, what a jam by Kobe Sanders. That was nasty with bad intentions. Who said I don't know how to win big games? Dent. Oh, wow. Good defensive play by Coleman coming from the backside.
This is so impressive. 6'9", and when you're going against Nelly Jr. Joseph, and if you lay the ball in, he's going to block it. You dunk it, and that's how you secure that 2 points.
Here is C.J. Nolan now against a great defender. Goes to his right hand. That's his offhand. Oh, and good job, referees. One referee rules jump ball, and that's going to be the ruling. That's a veteran official. So Coleman flashing his ultimate defensive prowess. A clean jump ball.
His hand like hovered over that ball.
6 on the shot clock. Amsil's got to go. Oh, what a move. Put him in the popcorn machine.
That's the nuance to Amsil's game that wasn't there last year when he only averaged 7 points. He's been able to put it all together as a three-point shooter and as a guy that can score on the block.
Sanders has another isolation possession. Davidson, good pump fake again. And are you getting hungry watching this game? I mean, how many popcorn machines do we have in this game? I mean, how many pump fakes have we seen? Just getting guys popping up in the air.
Man, that was beautiful.
Here's Davidson back to the free throw line where he just kept the heartbeat of Nevada alive, knocking down those 2 clutch free throws, and he continues to knock them down. It was Davidson who sent the game to overtime.
I call him the heart and soul. He's the MVP of this Nevada team. In wins, he averages 18 a game, and in losses, he averages just 11 points a game. A good sign for him right now, racking up points here for Nevada.
Dent, Amsil, good catch and errant pass. Amsil wants an ISO.
Yeah, he does.
They don't send a double, and he's fouled.
Yeah, that's the right call. Justin McBride is frustrated, but he was not straight up. He was not straight up. Look, Nick Davidson trying to be a coach out there too. Hey, you can put that arm bar on him, but as soon as you bring those hands down, automatic foul.
And Casey, you mentioned earlier in the second half that free throws are going to be a big part of this game, especially now as Amsil misses the first.
We've had a total of 68 free throws taken in this one.
Look at the frustration on Pitino's face with every miss, which is magnified. Second one good. And Pitino in this shoot around, he was telling his team, hey, everybody thinks it's Nevada who should be desperate. And they are, by the way. No, it's us who should be desperate. We're the lead dogs in this conference, and we're trying to get to 4-0. Sanders trying to be a closer. Not quite.
That's a good shot, though, for him.
Great shot.
I like it.
Great shot.
And Amsil like really wants the ball in every possession.
Dent. Cross court. There's another popcorn machine. Borovic into the basket. It's denied by Davidson. Get it out of here. No shot clock reset. And a great timeout call by Richard Pitino as Borovic was in some trouble on the sidelines. And before he put that size 13, or whatever foot size he is, on the ground near the out of bounds line, called the timeout.
What a defensive play. Check this out. Goes straight up, but he presents the ball like on a silver platter, and Davidson swats it away. So many fantastic defensive moments in this game.
Steve Alford said he was in search of a dog. Nick Davidson is stepping up to that for his coach, at least today. There's another look at the foul trouble. And of course, as we get to overtime, the fouls become even more magnified. This game continues. It could be a game of disqualifications. So New Mexico's got the ball. Down by 1. Dent will be the inbounder.
Look at this set. All 4 Nevada players were above the foul line.
10 on the shot clock.
ISO.
Yep, here we go. Here's Dent. Pump fakes, foot nearly slid. Here's Borovicin to beat the shot clock. No good. Dent could have been called for a travel there, as his foot slid a little bit. All right, Kobe. Time to live up to your name. Got the number 8 too. What can he do? Pauses, freezes, fires, in and out, no good. But Foster gets the offensive board.
Foster, he is not an offensive threat from deep. The reason he's in the game is for defense and for offensive rebounding. That's it.
Sanders, double. Bailey to the basket. What kind of defense was that from New Mexico? It just let them waltz in.
A beautiful drive, though, too. I love that ball movement and the fearlessness by Nevada.
Dent, a nice pass. Nolan from the corner. What a big time bucket.
He was 0 for 3 from deep before that shot.
Bailey with it, getting some big time minutes in crunch time. Sanders has it again. Fires it. Coleman, pump fake, driving, stepping back. They've got to shoot it. Shot clock's laying down, and it's going to be an air ball. It may have been tipped, but it doesn't matter because it's a shot clock violation.
Well, that sequence was one for C.J. Nolan's personal highlight reel. Beautiful drive. Nobody wants to foul in that situation. Right? And then how about the pass from Donovan Dent? He drops 3 defenders. C.J. Nolan 0 for 3 from deep until that moment.
Dent trying to turn the corner. Drive to the basket and just a hair off. Dent trying to take over the game.
The smaller you are, the more creative you have to be around the rim to be successful. Donovan Dent is 6'2", but he lives in the land of the trees because he is able to switch hands left, right, and get the ball on the backboard. That one didn't go in.
Foul goes on Bailey, who picks up his 4th. Dent has only missed 1 free throw. He's now 5 of 6. Dent up to 17 points. They make it 18. Sanders. Guy slips and falls. Sanders, a nice pass to Foster. Another pump fake. He's got to throw it up. I don't know if that will count.
Oh,
I don't. Are they going to count that? They are. Casey, what do you think? That looked like it was on the ground.
This is a late call, for sure. In real time, to me, this looked late. Really nice pass. Great creation from Kobe Sanders. Watch the pump fake. The foul happens there.
No, that's on the ground. I'm sorry. That's on the ground.
And where's the contact happen? I mean, he gets hit in the head. A break for Nevada.
Well, he makes the free throw, and it's 79-78.
And Nevada's got to have a short memory here. Just put that call aside. Keep playing ball here. Plenty of time.
Dent has got to get out of the corner where he's almost trapped. And that should be a foul. Yep, that's a good call. I don't know if it's on Coleman or Davidson. Let's see. That's on Davidson. And if you didn't know it was a foul on Davidson, you could see by the way he was demonstrating that it was on him. And he picks up foul.
He put his hands on Donovan Dent as he was dribbling. Watch.
Yep,
there,
right there.
Automatic second. Well, the second one's kind of a little bit of an arm bar.
Yep.
But he's also body bumping him. That's a foul.
So here's Dent back to the line where he made the last two. Makes it again. Timeout called by Steve Alford, and that's his last.
Oh, we have played 44 minutes of basketball, and we are right back where we started. Donovan Dent has a chance to go up one, but what is Nevada talking about? They're trying to draw up a play regardless of whether or not this free throw goes in. I think you should get something going at the rim, at the basket, a post up, an isolation, a clear out for either Kobe Sanders or Nick Davidson. We saw that at the end of regulation. That stuff works.
And Casey, I know you've got a plane to catch tomorrow, and so do I, but who cares about going to bed right now? The all-impressive Mountain West After Dark once again living up to its billing in the 1,000th game down here at the pit. Second free throw by Dent, and it's good. Lobos take the lead again. It's crunch time. Sanders losing his footing, and he's traveled.
Now they're going to call a block first.
Oh my goodness, oh wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And Vern Harris made the motion that the defender grabbed and pulled Kobe Sanders on this drive.
Take a look. What do you think, America? Oh, that, no, yeah. Casey, I'm just gonna.
And
that
you
looked
can
like
tell what Richard Pitino thinks about that call.
Oh, man. So it appears that
that's tough.
Two critical referee mistakes. You are not allowed to jump up and down on your pivot foot. You're just not. Sanders makes the free throw, but I'm sure Steve Alford is thinking, whatever we can to get a win. I'll take the series of unfortunate events on the other side. And New Mexico crowd and Patino beside themselves, and I think they have a point. Patino taking a timeout. Got one left. Tie ball game 80-80. And take a look at the incensed countenance of Richard Pitino as he argues his point.
Well, now he's going to turn his focus on what kind of play that he's going to draw up if Nevada goes up here.
And Casey, here's the call again.
All right, so Vern Harris says that he grabs. So there was a little bit of a grab. Watch the right arm. It's hard to see from this angle right there, but I would argue that that's not enough contact in this moment. That's what I would say. As a former player, that's not enough contact in this moment of the game to expect that call.
And it's just unfortunate because for most of the game, the officials have been pretty good. They've been calling things both ways, but you know what's going to happen when those two calls get played back on New Mexico television and on New Mexico social media.
Oh, big time free throws there.
Yeah, but how Sanders I think this is his coming out party for Nevada. Now, Nevada's still got to close. And they still got to deal with Donovan Dent.
Yeah, they do.
Dent. And that looks like a jump ball. And a big time defensive stop. It's going to Nevada. That, I think, was a good call, but.
Oh, yeah, that was a good call. For sure. Look at this. Bailey Show your hands to the officials, and then if the ball's presented, grab it.
Yeah. Let's see.
New Mexico has to foul here,
Yeah,
but they can try and trap first, which they're doing.
They trap Sanders in the corner, gets rid of it. Does he throw it away? Can Joseph get it? He does. So New Mexico's got an extra life here. 6 seconds. Here's Dent, spinning, falls, and he gets it to Joseph at the buzzer. And it's good for now. Absolute chaos in the pit. For now, it's a game winner. We'll check it. There was a lot going on, Casey, during that play.
Donovan Dent fell down with the basketball. And somehow, Nelly Jr. Joseph, the starting center, hits a floater from 15 feet.
Let's get a look to make sure he got it off in time. There's a look at Dent falling on the ground. So the ball was dislodged a little bit.
The referee said he was bobbling it, so it's not a travel.
So they're going to look at this. And let's see, Casey.
If you have possession and you go to the ground with it, it's a travel. But does he have possession right there? The ball seemed to be jarred loose, so they let it go.
And that's good.
And that shot is off. What a win, and heartbreak again for Nevada.
So Nelly Jr. Joseph pulls the superhero cape, bails out New Mexico with a game-winning shot at the buzzer.
Well, they can play 1,000 more basketball games in the pit, and there wouldn't be another one like this as Nelly Jr. Joseph, his 50th career double-double. And how about this miraculous shot? Again, the ball jarred loose. Referees let it go. Game.
An absolute heartbreaker for Nevada as they fought, they clawed, they scratched. But again, Casey, I think I just heard Rasheed Wallace's voice come down. They got 2 questionable calls on the other end. So you might say, if you're watching that out there, the ball don't lie. And New Mexico caps off its 1,000th career game at the pit in absolute electrifying, chaotic fashion.
And this 4-0 start in the Mountain West Conference matches the best start ever for New Mexico. They fought. Hey, both teams fought. Wow, it was an honor to be on the sideline of this one, man. I won't forget this.
It's the 2nd straight game winner we've called. We were here last year when Jared Lucas did it to Colorado State. This time it's New Mexico serving up an ice-cold dish of Heartbreak City. That'll do it here for Mountain West After Dark. Derek Clark, Casey Jacobson signing off from another classic here for Fox Sports and FS1.